Lethbridge Bullhorn is all things regarding the Lethbridge Bulls of the Western Canadian Baseball League. The Bullhorn has the latest news regarding the Bulls with interviews with current and past players, signings, game recaps, and updates on all the events happening at Spitz Stadium. The Bullhorn is your place for all things regarding baseball in Lethbridge. Get your horns up with the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report.
All right, welcome back to the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report. Tonight's show is brought to you by the Bullpen Clothing Company. Go to the Bullpen Company's Facebook page and get yourself some baseball-themed apparel at the Bullpen Company today. Night 2 of the Lethbridge Bulls 2024 year-end awards show coming at you live. Last night, we gave you the top offensive and defensive awards, plus the Rookie of the Year. Thanks to Adonis, Scotty, Josh, and Carlin for jumping on the show, recording that was earlier on the prior week. It was a lot of fun talking with those guys. It's always nice to catch up with and talk some baseball, and once you get away from the park a little bit and let things decompress after a long, hard season, it was really, really good to talk with those boys and get their thoughts on what the year was like. And then for Josh and Carlin, their long careers with the Lethbridge Bulls. So thank you very much to all those guys for joining us on the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report. Before we get into tonight's award winners, which includes the top Canadian, top pitcher, and the team MVP, I want to give thanks to the people behind the scenes at Spitz Stadium this summer who made it actually all work. Yeah, the players, they obviously give it their all night in, night out, and they do their best, but it's the behind-the-scenes work that don't get a lot of pat in the backs and the high fives and the bum slaps, but it's the concession workers, Tony Day's on the field with the the pre- and post-game entertainment midfield, and then you have his cast of characters who are helping him out, then you have the concession, the souvenir stands, beer tubs, 50-50 workers, all the people who help out behind the scenes of the field crew, all the people who make it all happen prior to the game getting going. The game's going to happen regardless, but it's all the people behind the scenes. You got Brian Janot, the voice of the of Spitz Stadium for many, many years, back when it was Henderson Stadium. Thank you very much for Brian for coming back and joining us this season. He was tickle pink every day. Great baseball mind Brian is. You sit up in the press box with him some nights, and it's like having a Vince Scully up there, the knowledge that guy has, and we would talk about different scenarios, what if that was a base hit or it wasn't, and what you would do in these situations here and there. And he's a great guy to have. Chad for doing the music throughout the season. He's a billet as well for the Bulls this season. And thank you very much to all the billets as well for housing the players throughout the season. Sometimes I know it can probably be a little bit tough, but thank you very much to everybody who helped out. Logan on the video board. Dawson was doing the point streak. So many people behind the scenes to help out make the Bulls season go on and on. And then T-Bone, of course. Not going to reveal who's in the T-Bone. T-Bone's actually, I'm not going to say. Thank you very much to T-Bone for helping out throughout the Lethbridge Bulls 25th anniversary season. We couldn't be done without all you people behind the scenes. We can't thank you enough for all the hard work you do that sometimes doesn't go noticed. But anyways, let's get into it. Again, we were on night 2 of our 2024 year-end award season, and the first guy to get an award tonight is probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in the game of baseball, the most nice spoken, kind, polite, the on and on it goes. 2024 top Canadian. Also played in the All-Star game in Okotoks for the West Division back in July. Just played in Vauxhall Academy a few years back for Les McTavish. Another name drop. I keep dropping Les's name in here night in, night out for some unknown reason here on the Bullhorn. But this guy hit 349 in the season, appeared in 40 games as a back catcher, played some time in the outfield, so he was all over the field. Just a great all-around player, super nice kid. Can't say enough about this guy. Goes to UBC right now. So I want to congratulate him. And he came in. Thing about Kyle, okay, Kyle Yip, he's the 2024 Lethbridge Bulls top Canadian. But every there's kind of a rule that kind of gets broken at Spitz Stadium. There, the players are supposed to request their tickets X amount of hours or days before the games happen, because it kind of gets a little bit chaotic on game days in there. But Kyle would quietly just come up into my office there at Spitz, and he'd say, "Hey, Brandon, hey, Kyle, how's it going?" And we'd talk a little bit, and it was always fine and dandy and everything. And then Kyle would always he'd say, can I get a couple tickets? I'm like, yeah, I'm not supposed to. Always so polite. You'd say, okay, I kind of have to do it for him. It's just one of those things. But Kyle's always a nice guy. He'd always do whatever you asked him to help out with anything around the stadium. So it goes to UBC right now. One of the smartest guys in baseball. Congratulations to Kyle Yip, the 2024 Lethbridge Bulls Canadian All Canadian Player of the Year.
Next up on the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls Report 2024 postseason award show is Lethbridge Bulls catcher and outfielder, WCBL All-Star, and by far the most polite player in Lethbridge Bulls history, and it's not close. The Lethbridge Bulls top Canadian for the 2024 season, Mr. Kyle Yip. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm great. Thank you, Brent. Thanks for having me.
Hey, not a problem. Glad to have you here and get us through this little show this morning. It's playing on Monday on YouTube later on. Kyle, you appeared in 16 games for the Bulls in 2023, fresh off playing for Lethbridge Bulls Hall of Famer Les McTavish out there in Vauxhall, and you got the call to be in 16 games as just out of high school. What was your pulse like the first time? You take us back to that first time you got the phone call from whoever was Ryan Ryan McDonald. Sorry, take us back to that day when you go, oh, I'm going up with the big boys.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, earlier this year he called me, and it was a pretty exciting experience. I mean, like playing in Vauxhall all those years, kind of seeing all those guys almost funnel to the Bulls and seeing how much fun they had there and all the good stories they had. I was really excited to come join the organization. It was real thankful for that opportunity.
You after your freshman year at UBC, you come out with different expectations as a kind of a veteran all of a sudden playing for the Bulls the 2024 season. What was your thought process going into the year? What was your goals that you set for yourself personally to maybe get something done for yourself on the field? What was your thoughts coming into the season?
I mean, coming into the season, I really had just one thought, and that was just that, like, have fun, relax, and not put too much pressure on myself.
That's a tough thing to do. You get into a thing with it's not professional baseball, but it's a different environment that you're used to playing in, and all of a sudden there's crowds and people watching everything else, and you're just 18 years old. And is it tough keeping the old heart rate down a little bit at times?
Sometimes it is, but I mean, it's just so exciting I love playing in summer ball. It's just a whole different experience, and I mean, it's a lot easier to not put pressure on yourself when it's just such an enjoyable experience, really.
That's the biggest thing that I noticed being around the players a lot this summer in a different light compared to umpiring. Like the enjoyment that a lot of players get, and they at first they're a little bit timid, I guess, but then you start getting a little more comfortable with everybody around the team and around the league and with their teammates too. Because a lot of guys you've never met before. When did you start to think that we got something kind of going on here? We got a good bunch of guys, and when did you start to think, hey, you know what, this is pretty all right? We got a pretty good team here.
I mean, after the first couple weeks, really, after you kind of get to know everybody, and I mean, obviously, I played with quite a few of the guys kind of growing up, but like even those new guys, it was like probably within the first week after like we got to know them, and it was just I agree with you. I was thought, hey man, this is a really good team, and we got a really good chance to succeed here.
June 25th afternoon game was a Tuesday out in Brooks. You had a day for the ages, all moonshots. I right, moonshots, no doubters. You hit 3 home runs, went 5 for 5 the whole bit. Were they all moonshots, Kyle? You can tell the truth here.
Well, I mean, like the wind was blowing out at like 50 kilometers an hour, so that certainly helped me. But I mean, yeah, that was probably one of the best offensive days I'd say I'd ever had in my career. So
yeah, that's something else. I remember when you guys came back because that, like I said, was afternoon game, and so you guys were back at pretty decent time. And I heard that you had 3 home runs, 5 for 5. I was like, holy smokes, that's legendary kind of deal. You hit 349 this season with the Bulls. At what point did you think yourself, I got this, I got a handle on this, I can hit at this level, I can compete at a high level at this level, and I can do this. But because you can go the other side, baseball can be really humbling at times too. And all of a sudden, the 349, you go over a few days, and geez, what the heck's going on here?
yeah, I mean, I guess kind kind of always have to have that confidence in yourself that, yeah, like I can do this. I can hit. I've done it before. I've had that track record, I guess, and it's just not really focusing too much on the outcomes and just like having that internal belief that, I belong here and yeah, I can hit.
That's the one thing about baseball. It's a team sport built on individual performances, whether it be a pitcher or a hitter or whatever. You're kind of out there by yourself, and you got no one to blame but yourself. If you go have an 0 for day and you got no one to pat yourself, like you can pat yourself in the back when you have a 5 for 5 day with 3 home runs. So that's the one great thing about the game of baseball, and
Exactly, yeah.
it can be like that. The 9-game win streak that you guys had is otherwise known as the hot tub chase, I guess you can call it, around Spitz Stadium. It was exciting time of the year for Bulls fans and for the players alike and for management in the office there. What was your memories of that 9-game win streak that, you lost the one game, I think it was to Moose Jaw, and you won 3 or 4 more in a row after that. What was your thought process when you start winning 6 and 7 and go, hey, we got something here? Did you look ahead in the schedule a little bit and say, well, if we win this, win that, we got a shot at this?
Yeah, now that I look back on it, that probably wasn't a great thing to do, but
No.
we definitely did, and we were all really excited trying to push for that hot tub. But yeah, I mean, I guess as a group, that like those times were like a lot of fun. Just the excitement, kind of showing up to the field every day, and everyone kind of pulling in the same rope in the same direction. It was a lot of fun, and unfortunately, we couldn't pull it off, but we came pretty close, and maybe next year.
There's always another year. That's right. Like when you it's when you play in the WCBL, you got players coming in and out and injuries and on and on. And you get some like pitchers get pitch limits and then everything goes. And there was like I said, you were a catcher some days, you're in the outfield some days, and you might get called on. Some guys get called on to pitch. You never know what might happen in WCBL. What was like when you came to the park every day? Okay, you looked at the lineup, or you didn't get told until whatever time. How did you adjust to your way of thinking between your own ears, what you might be doing that day?
I think I always just showed up, kind of try to do the same thing, try to keep everything pretty similar in my routine, just not really trying to think about it too much. Because I think when I think about it, that's when I kind of get in my own head a little bit. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to just, I mean, when you have a group that we did this year, it's so much fun to be around that every time you show up to the field, that's really all you can kind of focus on is just hanging out with the guys. And that's really it.
That's it. It was so great to see that. Like the way you guys were just the way you bonded so quick. Because it's a lot of games in a short period of time. Was that a big adjustment for you this season? Like it's an everyday grind. I know, like during your college season, it's a different grind because you got school and everything. But hopping on the bus and the way the league is set up, was playing every day. You get the odd Monday off here and there. Was that probably the toughest thing for you this summer? Was like it's every day, and this is all of a sudden this is my quote unquote job.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a little bit of a grind, but I mean, now that I'm here kind of at school and we don't play every day, I'm kind of just wishing, hey, I wish I could just go back to summer ball and just be on the field every day. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
like complain all you want. I was playing baseball. It can't be that tough, right? One
yeah,
of those things.
yeah, it's just so much fun. I can't really, yeah, hard to
Uh,
say. I don't
Being
miss
named the
it, but
top Canadian for the Lethbridge Bulls, it's no small accomplishment by any means. What was it like playing with a couple of teammates, old grandpas now? They're done playing baseball, hanging the cleats up. A couple of Canadians that were around Lethbridge for a long time, playing for the Bulls, in Carlin Dick and Josh Kabiyama. What was it like playing with those guys this year, and what did you take from the way those guys conduct themselves on the field and off the field for the Bulls?
yeah, I mean, they're really such great dudes and obviously great players, and it's really nice to be able to kind of be in that locker room with them, kind of be with them like for the better part of a summer and just be able to learn from them, kind of watch how they do things. Obviously, they had multiple great years here for the last couple of years, and it was just a real honor to be part of that for their last kind of 2.5 or 2 years, really.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was talking to Carlin all the time. I see his smiling face around Stadium here all the time. Well, shouldn't say I'm happy to see his face. No, I quite like Carlin. He's going to be missed by Bulls fans for sure. But I talked with Scotty Hansen there just before I got you on here, and there was a night back in July where a little bit of a brouhaha happened. I didn't forgot to ask Jack this earlier on, but that little brouhaha with Fort McMurray when the bench is cleared, there was a little situation with Tyler Monroe and at third base. So where were you when that was all going down? And were you at the forefront of the crowd, or you in the middle or near the back, waving your fists in the air? What was your role in that whole situation?
No, honestly, I was at the back of the line.
Smart man.
I think I had just scored after on his hit, actually. So I was in the dugout taking all my stuff off and trying to get my catcher's gear back on. And like while I was like halfway done, I just look up and I see half the team sprinting out yelling. And I was like, oh boy. So I've just finished up a couple straps and walked out there. I think in the video you can kind of just see me just kind of saunter out there. But
What was
yeah,
because you guys came back and won that game and everything else, and it was good. I mean, people like
yeah.
that kind of stuff. What was it like in the locker room after that was all said and done? Because I remember sitting in the stands watching that, and the crowd was going a little bit crazy. And you seen Shea McTavish being the tough guy at the front. He was more of a hold me back kind of a thing than trying to actually cause anything. What was it the conversation like in the locker room when after that was done?
I mean, all that energy from kind of that happening, it was just everyone was so kind of amped up that it was pretty fun to be in there, and everyone was just so excited and kind of elated that we won, I guess. And there was so much emotion that it was
There
pretty
was a
fun.
lot of testosterone flying around there, that's
Yeah,
for
a
sure.
lot.
There's
Yeah,
no doubt about that. And it was funny to hear the different stories from the different guys, how what they perceived was happening that night. It was
yeah,
kind of a humorous thing for me.
yeah.
Season ended up on I don't want to say a sour note. You look back and everything, but you didn't win. The ultimate goal is obviously to win a championship. But the great series with Okotoks, I don't want to dwell on that too much. But it's just one hit away here or there in 13 innings. What was your thoughts on that last game for the Bulls this summer?
Yeah, I mean, came pretty close. I mean, obviously, Okotoks has a really good team, really good roster, and they're coached really well. But I mean, I felt like we could hang with them. We proved that, but a couple bounces just didn't go our way. A couple situations, and unfortunately, we couldn't get it done. But there's always next year, I guess.
There's always next year, that's for sure. Before we let you go here, I just want to ask you one last thing. What was your favorite memory playing for the 25th anniversary 2024 edition of Lethbridge Bulls?
Oof. I don't know. There's so many to choose from. Um, I'd say that um, probably one of our road trips up north. I think was probably some of the most fun I've had. Just kind of being around those guys all for a better part of a week, just hanging out and playing baseball. That's really all you can ask for, and quite like literally, I guess, living the dream. But that's
Well,
it.
that's the thing that people forget. Like a game's a game, and whether you win, you lose, you don't really remember a lot of them. Like you play so many throughout your some guys' careers are really long, some guys are short. But it's the camaraderie and the friendships that you make that makes it all worthwhile. You don't remember it well, other than a Tuesday afternoon in Brooks. You won't forget that one, obviously, there, Kyle. But it's the friends that you make and the relationships that you get not just with your own teammates but around the league and just traveling around and doing something you love to do. It's got to be that's got to be really rewarding because you're a really level-headed guy. But that's got to be something. I'm glad you said that. That's got to be something really rewarding for a guy like yourself, just to be around it and to be able to soak it in a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Anyways, Kyle, thank you very much for joining us here on the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls Report 2024 Awards Show. Thank you very much, and congratulations once again to being named top Canadian for the 2024 season.
Yeah, thank you, Brent. Thanks for doing this. Thank you, Bulls fans. We'll see you next year.
See you next year, Kyle. We'll get you on before the season starts. We'll do a little Bulls season look ahead.
Sounds good. Thanks, Brent.
Okay, Kyle. Good talking to
Take
you. We'll
care.
see you again. See you again in the new year.
Yeah, see ya.
Cheers. Well, there it was, Kyle. Yep, top Canadian for the 2024 Lethbridge Bulls. Nicest guy, nicest guy in baseball. His hands down. There's no getting around it. Very well spoken, polite young man. Good. Got to know him a little bit more this summer. It was lots of fun to be around. Anyways, the got some comments that came up across the board, and I got laughing a little bit. And I wasn't going to go on this little tangent about anything, but it's good to see old Coach Coop, longtime PBA guy. I was around here at Spitz Stadium, Henderson Stadium, many moons ago. We'll have to have him on the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls podcast, talk about his days in Lethbridge. It'll be a lot of laughs. I don't know if it'll be a half-hour show or a 5-hour show talking with Coach Coop about his days as a coach in Lethbridge. I had some run-ins with him as an umpire. Oh, geez, almost 26, 27 years ago now, but it's kind of funny. So, Coop, thanks for watching the show, and we'll have to have you on the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls baseball report very soon. Got a big event coming up here at Spitz Stadium for this Halloween season. It's October already. My goodness, October 2nd. It's starting on the 17th of October. Feel the Screens, where Spitz Stadium turns into the biggest haunted house in southern Alberta. Yeah, there it is. Field Screens are transforming that beautiful old Hendo. I still want to call it Henderson Stadium all these years later. Still want to call it Hendo, but we should change the name to Spitz Stadium at Henderson Park is what we should do. Maybe we'll have a meeting about that, and it'll happen 2 or 3 years from now. But anyways, yeah. So get your tickets for go to bullsbaseball.com and get your tickets for Field of Screams. It's going to be spooktacular, is what they tell me, but that's a Brent. It's not. I'd say it's a Brent original, but it's not. But anyway, so make sure you get your tickets for Spooktacular. It'll be a really good time there. They're putting a lot of work in there. It's just kind of crazy how to see all this the place transform into what is happening. Anyways, next up on the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report is the Mr. No himself, Javier De Alejandro. He had what can you say about this guy that hasn't been said already? WCBL All-Star, WCBL second team All-Star. Just did it all for Lethbridge Bulls this summer. 9 games, went 6-1, 52 strikeouts in 55 innings, called upon night in, night out, always did his job. Polite, nice, just always smiling, always talking with fans, doing whatever was asked of him. The pride of San Antonio, Texas. Javi's a great guy. Hopefully we can lure him back for 1 more year. He's been around for 3. Bring him back for a 4th year and see if we can't bring a championship back to Lethbridge, and with the Lethbridge Bulls. Good to have you back there starting an opening night. Might be kind of one of those things we'll lure him back. Say, hey, you got the opening night starting, and we can. Some other incentives, we may be able to lure him back from San Antonio to go 1 more summer with Lethbridge Bulls. So here's my interview that I did on, I think it was on Thursday or Friday last week with Javi. Javi, thank you very much. And once again, here is the top pitcher for the Lethbridge Bulls in the 2024 season, Javier De Alejandro.
All right, up next on the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report 2024 Postseason Award Show is this year's Pitcher of the Year 2024 WCBL West Division All-Star, WCBL Second Team All-Star for the 2024 season, and Mr. No himself for the Lethbridge Bulls, Javier De Alejandro. How you doing today, Javi?
I'm good, Brent.
Good to see you again. It's been a while since you left the great city of Lethbridge. Javi, 3 years under your belt in this with the Lethbridge Bulls in this city of Lethbridge. Let's take the no-hitter out of it. This was obviously probably one of the best teams that you've been a part of here in Lethbridge. What made this year so good? And did you enjoy yourself as much as I enjoyed watching you guys?
This year, I think the group of guys were just we all had a mission, we all had a goal. Everybody was bought in. There wasn't any bad energy, any bad apples in the group. We all fought for something, and we all got on the same train, the same plane, and we all had a goal at the end of it. I think that was a big thing for us. We all had each other's backs, whether it was on the field, off the field, on the mound, at the plate. We all had each other's backs. I think that was a big thing for me, was them, just that group of guys allowing me to go out and perform and do what I'm best at, is just going out and performing on the mound and giving the offense the best chance to succeed in the game.
I was talking to some of the guys yesterday, and they go back to that opening, the way you guys opened up your season, and having to be the first, what was it, 8 games on the road might have kind of helped you guys bond as a team together. Because all of a sudden, because if you're in Lethbridge, you're at home, you go to your billet's house afterwards, you don't spend a bunch of time together away from the ballpark. But that first 8 days traveling into Saskatchewan, we'll talk about that in half a second. But traveling for 8 days with guys you barely know probably didn't hurt a whole bunch.
Yeah. So for me, my situation, I got there maybe the 10th day, so I missed that 8-day road trip. So when I got there in the 10th day, man, I just saw a difference from the year before with all the guys. The guys were, like you said, already kind of gelled. They already knew each other. They already had familiarity with each other. They kind of figured a couple things out about each other in those 8 days, and they just continue that. We opened up each other more, off the field, on the field, asking questions just about how we do things, why we do it, just to get more information, right? Learn from each other. I think that was the big thing that helped everybody else succeed, was just learning off of each other and not making so much of a competition out of it, but just trying to all hit their marks and their goals. I mean, they all had goals for the summer. They all had things that they were trying to work on, and that was their plan.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was your third year here in Lethbridge with the Bulls. Did you find yourself like, you don't want to say the grandpa of the team, but like a little bit older when it gets down to it? Like you weren't as old as Carlin and Joshua, they've been around for 4 years. But did you find yourself like I was talking with Kyle Yip yesterday? Yeah, he played 13 games in 2023. But like when you get a little bit older and you've been around the college baseball scene a little bit, and then you're around WCBL, because it's a grind. Like it's 56 games in a short period of time, and you're traveling and you don't get many off days. Did you find yourself, some of the younger guys, the first guys who are first year in the league, that they would maybe come to you a little bit and say, geez, I'm getting tired, I'm getting worn out? Like, did you find yourself kind of as the shoulder to cry on, I guess, one way of putting it a little bit?
Yeah, for sure I did. There's a lot of younger guys that just had questions about the culture and what we did last year and how things were ran last year, what we did last year, and it was my job to fill them in and to show them the way, show them the standards of Lethbridge Bulls, and show them what we're about and how we hold ourselves, but also, right, to make sure we go there every day and get what we're supposed to get out of it, get our work in, and be productive. But yeah, I did hear that grandpa chirp quite a bit this summer. So
it's fun. Like, I find it funny when you're X amount of years old and you're like, holy God, I got shoes older than this kid, and you're calling you grandpa. It's just kind of funny. It's just the way it all kind of works out. But you talk about getting your work in and coming in, day out. Like Jack Kaliski come out of the bullpen. He said he needed 9 pitches to be ready to go, and it's just like a unicorn when it comes, like Mariano Rivera coming out of the bullpen all those years ago. What's your game day routine? Because every starter has their own little thing, and then we don't get going on the game day stuff till you see the guy coming out of the bullpen. Take us through your game day routine from about maybe 6:30 on for a 7 o'clock first pitch.
Got you. So like you said, I've been around WCBL 3 years. I've been pitching since I was about 18 years old. So right out of high school, straight pitcher only. So yeah, the routine has been big for me. I didn't really know what it was till I got to college, and how to be consistent with it. But yeah, so 6 o'clock, I'll start at 6 o'clock, maybe start stretching out, lower body, upper body bands, upper body. Yeah. And then 6:30ish. After that, little stretch, like get my body going, moving around, and then we'll do a bunch of plyo care before we start throwing. Then we'll get into throwing, and I really don't focus. Not focus, but I really don't put much thought into throwing. I just warm up, and I just get to a point where my arm feels good. Because day to day, I don't feel 100% all the time, but I don't. There's days you don't feel good. There's days you feel amazing. So it's just how my arm feels that day. Warm it up, get it ready to where I feel I'm good enough to throw a bullpen. get into the bullpen, and then just the mindset is the big thing for me. Is visualizing batters in there, visualizing opposing batters, getting my mind ready to be facing opposing batters. Just get me in that zone to compete, and that's about it. But it's nothing too crazy. It's just something that I stay consistent to, and it's more of a feel thing for my body. As long as I'm feeling good and my body feels good, I'm good to go. So it's just about me getting to that point, and that's it.
Like I find it remarkable. You like in college, there's probably scouting reports for every guy you're going to face, and you come to WCBL, you don't know who's going to be on the other team half the time when teams come into Spit Stadium or you hit the road. How do you because everybody knows somebody who plays somewhere? Do you rely on your teammates a lot more in this league than you would say in college because we don't have the crack scouting staff that goes from team to team, like to know how to pitch guys and how to go about it because. It's not like everybody's just throwing gas and getting guys out. There's ways to pitch to certain people. Like, did you rely on your teammates a lot if they knew someone that they played college with, and how'd that all work for you?
Yes, big time. If they knew someone that was.
Because everybody plays at Bellevue, so there's always somebody from Bellevue kicking around, right?
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. That's the cool thing about this league is it's so far away from me, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that I know in the league, right? And there's a lot of people that I know have played in the league or are going to play in the league, and it's just it's like another connection far away from home. So it's really cool to experience and see different guys from different places all come up to the same area and play for summer with the same goal, right? Just trying to get better, trying to get to the next place for them, trying to get to a different school or whatever it may be. But it's really cool to see that. But what was the question that you asked?
Like, how do you prepare for hitters when you don't really know who they are half the time? There's not really a scouting report.
Yeah, so that was big for me. Like in college here, we have an app where we can go and see teams, hitters and stuff. We don't have that up there. I mean, we have the streaming service, but it's tougher, right? So I depend on my teammates if they know specific information about a hitter. Say he cannot touch a curveball, or he can't hit anything up in the zone. Like I'll depend on that, and I will tunnel pitches from that. I will, it's just good information for me. So that way I know how to pitch the guy. I know what to stay away from and what to go to in a certain count. It was big for me. There's a lot, and that's the cool thing is that, like I was saying, you don't really think that people know each other around there because it's so different or so spread out, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that know each other in the league, and from playing with each other or playing with their friends or whatever it may be. But I depended on that quite a bit because I didn't have that information. I mean, of course, like I knew a couple previous players from the last year that I've seen, but there's a lot of new heads or a lot of new faces. So that's the
next day you don't know who you're facing sometimes the way the rosters can turn over. You said you were like I was interested to hear you only started being a pitcher only at the age of 18, and like I said, you're not like you're 30 years old or anything. Do you miss hitting a little bit?
Yeah, I do. I wasn't the the best hitter. I was maybe like a little 2-hole, would drop a bunt for the lead off, and if he didn't get on, I would try to get on, and then if not, maybe like a 9-hole, kind of run it back up from the another maybe additional leadoff. But no, I mean, it was fun. But now, man, I'm in college and I see these guys, inter squad, right? And they're trying to hit off of our pitchers and they struggle sometimes. And I'm like, man, I don't miss that.
I don't need to be embarrassed. I'm good. I'm good. I'll just nod my head and say, yeah, that's I used to be able to, you can lie and say, oh yeah, I was good. Like, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Just one of those things. Javi, we'd be a crime if we didn't bring up that night back in July 2023. It was a Wednesday night against Brooks. I wasn't on the field that day. Like I was out umpiring a different game that night. But I got back here and I looked at the scoreboard and I said, holy cripes, he's got something going here. We're talking about the no-hitter, obviously, that you got. Only the one base runner, I think, got on. We won't blame anybody, but one of those things. Actually, we probably should, but I won't. But take us back to that night. Did you feel something a little bit different when you're going out there? And then question number 2 is, when did you realize that, hey, there's nothing on the board there?
Yeah. So I went out there and I would say, man, I just it was a weird night. It was one of those nights where our offense was having a day, right? So my 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 innings in between were 15 minutes. I would have to wait, in between an inning to
Yeah.
get back out on the mound. So I was, doing whatever I could to stay warm and to stay moving. And you know, I think Gordo may have helped me out there. He I told him, I said, Gordo, these innings are just, they're too long. Like, I'm sitting around for too long. I'm trying to move, do stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, can you give me a little ibuprofen or something? Gave me ibuprofen middle of the game, and
Better
I
watch
think
old Gordon. Everybody's going to be giving you. Watch out for him. But yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, but seriously, man, like that ibuprofen, like I've never ever felt as good as I have, in the fifth, sixth, and seventh inning than I did that day. Um, like I felt like I could, yeah, after the game maybe go in for another couple innings if maybe, right? Like, it's just different. But I think I may have knew about it maybe the fifth inning. It was like the first batter of the inning, and he hits a hard ball back up the middle, and it's a base hit all day if it doesn't hit me, right. So I
Yeah.
stuck my leg out, and I kind of kicked it right to Caleb Haney at second.
Yeah.
He, like a routine ground ball, second base, and he threw it over to first, got the out, and I'm like, wow, like if that wasn't luck right there, I don't know what it was. So
Everything was shining down for the right thing to start happening there. Like probably when you, yeah, that's a good point.
yeah, so I was like, man, like, next guy got him out. Sure enough, got through the fifth, and I'm coming out for the sixth. Get through the sixth, and then that's when I sit down in the seventh, and I'm looking in the dugout, and I'm like, I haven't thrown 7 innings since like high school. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I haven't done this since my senior year where I hit a pitch count. So that was probably where I was like, all right, well, I'm at about, I think I was at like 70 pitches in the sixth or seventh, 75 or 80 something.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is it right here. I mean, if I want to go for it, I just got to be efficient in these last couple innings and just, you know, give them competitive pitches, but nothing down the middle. So I mean, the same thing. I stuck with the plan and just try to miss bats in those last 2 innings, and it turned out on the right side for me. Our defense, like, I got to give it to my defense. My defense, if my defense isn't there, that game doesn't happen. So, shout out to them and my catcher Cardell. Cardell called a great game, and we just were on the same page the whole game. We had we didn't butt heads once. I didn't shake him once in that whole game, and that was a, yeah. I mean, that's about it. I mean, it just happened.
Did your
Yeah.
teammates talk? Like, 'cause there's the old wives' tale, the old superstition. No one talks to you when they get going. Did anybody bother you? Did anybody say anything? Did anybody mention the nasty word? Because it also gets. It's just that obviously it's a superstition. But did anybody talk to you?
Yeah. No, nobody talked to me. And I have that little that like that rep of when I pitch, like, I'm not very talkative either, right? I don't like to be around the guys and what's up with it. Like, I just sit in my little corner and I just try to prepare for the next inning. So they know that's how I am, and it's not nothing against anybody or
Yeah.
against anything. It's just me trying to prepare, and they know that. So I didn't hear that once that night, or um, maybe after the game. Some of the guys told me like, hey, this guy said it, and we had to tell him shut up or whatever. But no, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear that remark. So
That's funny. Who like when did it really hit in? Was it right after the game, like the celebrations up on YouTube, or was it the next day, or whether maybe when you called home, or did it like you went holy cow, like this is something you don't like, you don't see those every day, especially in this league at the Wild West, but you just never like it. When did it hit in for you, or is it still everyone, like I can still see the smile on your face when you're describing it, right? Like it's still gotta be a pretty cool feeling for sure.
oh yeah, I feel, yeah. It didn't hit me right away. The next day, I think Coach Mack had told me, a couple reporters wanted to get my side of the story
Yeah.
and stuff, and when they came the next day, I couldn't even. It just still hasn't sunk into me. I was, yeah, I did it, but it just, what does it mean to you? And sorry,
Yeah.
what does it mean to you? And And I was like, it means a lot, but it just hasn't fully sunk in yet. But now, yeah, looking back on it, my billets, they made me one of those like a real nice present that had
Yeah.
the whole story on it. So every time I go back into my room and I see that, and you know, it just makes me relive the moment, and it just makes me think about all the guys that were involved with it and took part of it, and um, it makes it special. Yeah, it's every time I get to tell the story, it's cool because like you said, not a lot of people are heard of it or have found of it, but it's a cool story to tell for sure.
Yeah, it's something nobody can ever take away from you for sure. This season, 6-1 and 9 starts, 3.27 ERA. Another great year from you. You got to go to the WCBL All Star Game. What was that like being around those guys this year up in Okotoks?
That was awesome. It was quite an experience just to be there. With all the talent of the league. From pitchers to infielders, outfielders, home run hitters, the quick guys on the bases, like threats in the outfield. It was just seeing all the different type of the showcase of talent was cool. Um, the facility at Okotoks made it nice, made it well worth it. All the fans were amazing, coaches. It was a great experience. I wanted that was my goal last year was I wanted to be a part of it last year. I wanted to make the team and came a little short, but I was super excited that I could be a part of it this year and you know experience it at least once in my lifetime because Torrin last year was in it. Kabayama, Haney, and I was there
Yeah.
to watch the game and super super cool. Vibe there at the field, atmosphere, all the fans. So I was like, man, if I were to be on field while all this is happening, man, that would be sick. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to pitch in the All-Star game because I started the Friday before it with our Bulls team. But I mean, I told Coach that was my decision. I said, I'm at a point where I care about our season more than this
Yeah.
All-Star game. So I want to win. I want the win more than to just go out and pitch an inning in the All-Star game. And he says, "All right, well, I'm up for that." And we I want to say he got the win Friday against Fort McMurray before that game. And
That's right. I think it was that night that the benches cleared. Actually, I think it was that night, wasn't it? Yeah.
yes, sir. So and that was I think the first wearing those City
City
Connects.
Connect jerseys. Yeah.
So very cool experience. And yeah, I mean, that was a great time hanging with all the guys. That made it much more better. Scotty, Jack, all the guys that were there that made it better. And just the time worth being.
Yeah.
All the memories. It was fun.
Well, right on. Put your recruiter cap on for a little bit here. If you were a guy to start getting players to come into Lethbridge, Alberta, to play for the Bulls and WCBL, what would you tell them if you were the guy in charge of that? What would you put on the recruitment video? What would you, if you were to call guys, what would you tell the people, the players who are younger than you to, hey, maybe go up to Lethbridge and this is a good place to play? What would you say to a young aspiring baseball player about the Lethbridge Bulls and why they should come to Lethbridge? What's your experience like?
I would say first the community there in Lethbridge, very well, very, very humble, very encouraging and supportive. I would say two would be the coaching staff. Like a big thing for summer ball is the coaches and how they run the organization. And this was my first time being a part of a summer team or summer ball team. And Mac, Coach Wheats, and also Coach Bergman, they made it so easy for the guys or for me to go out and just play stress free, right, without anything on my shoulders. Like, of course, we wanted results, we wanted, you know, to win, but we also wanted, the process to be good on the way instead of results always being good. We wanted our process to be stable and steady the whole way. That we knew what we were getting out of it. And I think that was a big thing is just the coaches. The coaches allowed us to go out and play every day freely. They allowed us to to bond outside of the field, to be ourselves, on the field, and everybody was open to that. The fans are amazing at the field. I loved throwing a strike and hearing my name in the crowd, or hearing like, let's go number 10, or let's go this and that. Like I love that. That gave me the motivation to not want to fail, to not want to not want to suck. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to go out every day and be the best I could. And sometimes at colleges, you get 10, 15 people in the crowd, and it's different. It doesn't make you, it doesn't put you in that situation where you need to be your best, right? You have to be your best, right? It's just and I would say, fourth, maybe, the team the team there is just amazing. I mean, all the core guys, they show you the ropes. They show you, what it's been like for the previous years, for the newer guys coming in. Nobody's, like I said, a bad apple. Nobody's, rude to anybody. Everybody's, we're all buddies, and we're all friends. And at the end of it, all these friendships, they turn into lifelong friendships. Like I'm gonna keep this friendships forever. They're all coming to my wedding. I'm all going to their wedding. Like it's
Nobody's marrying Carlin. Don't worry about that.
soon. You know what I mean? But
I see him every day now, so I know no one's marrying him, but whatever.
You better watch out for that cat.
Yeah, you never know. This summer, Hobby, we had a thing up out of the patios called 3 Easy Questions. You can't get them wrong. I did, but I got the Charlton Hill patio, so I got 5 easy questions for you, and we'll wrap this thing up. Ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Nope.
Favorite ballpark to pitch in the WCBL?
Oof. I'm gonna go Lethbridge Bulls.
There you go. Good old Spit Stadium, looking out on the field right now. There you go. That's probably the right answer. In the 3 years with the Bulls, who had the messiest locker in the locker room?
Messiest locker. I'm gonna have to go with my boy Scotty Hansen.
Scotty Hansen. I saw his a couple of times this year. Shea McTavish was a close second. Holy cow! I can't believe it was like that. Here's one. What do you really think of umpires?
What do I think of umpires?
Yeah.
In the league?
Anywhere.
Oh, they're cool.
Your silence speaks volume there, Hobby. I saw that. That's funny. And last one, we'll get you out of here. One guy in the Bulls that this season that should never have been in control of the music.
This season, we'll go Nick Gravel.
That's probably the right answer. Yeah, I'd say the Charlie Hill 3. You can't be wrong. That's 100% right. Nick Gravel shouldn't be in charge of making any decisions when it comes down to anything, let alone the music.
I love that guy, but yeah.
I like Gravel a lot. He's a good kid. I like him for sure. Javi, it was a pleasure getting to know you a little bit this summer, being around the team, and congratulations on being the 2024 Lethbridge Bulls Pitcher of the Year once again. And hopefully we can find your way back up to Lethbridge again for another year, and see if we can't get that elusive championship back in Lethbridge.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brent. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Hobby. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll get you on again before the season starts.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Cheers, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks again to Javi for coming on the show. Just always a great guy to talk to throughout the season. Always had time for me and time for everybody around Spit Stadium. He's a fan favorite for the 3 years he's been here so far, and hopefully we can wrangle him up for one more season up here in Lethbridge. And like I said, we got done that conversation to get that elusive championship. Javi would be a welcome addition to come back and maybe spin another no-hitter. And that's an amazing story to tell, the no-hitter story, how it all came about and how it all works. It's a baseball fan. I'm a baseball dork that goes way back, but to hear that story, how it all turned out, it's just quite remarkable. And no matter what level you get a no-hitter, it's something you can hold on for the rest of your life. Anyways, to give you a little hint about what's going on at Spit Stadium this weekend, The Keith Jorgensen Memorial Baseball Tournament is this weekend at Spitz, so make sure you guys, if you're in the Lethbridge area, you want your baseball fixed. The weather's supposed to be nice. Come see the Junior Bulls Academy, not Junior Bulls Academy, sorry, the Lethbridge Longhorns, the JV Longhorns, and then go and watch the PBA play. Lots of good baseball to be had here in Lethbridge at the three ballparks, Spitz, Lloyd Nolan Yard, and ATSO, to watch some great baseball to be played, and get out before the snow flies a little bit. It's baseball season. Get out before you watch the Major League Baseball playoffs happen. Anyways, here's a little Field of Screens promo for you. Got one more award to give out tonight on the Lethbridge Bulls Bullhorn Report. This guy, it's kind of a no-brainer who's going to win this award. He did everything for the Lethbridge Bulls at the bat, on the mound, on and on it goes. Jack Kaliski, the pride of San Antonio, Texas, soft-spoken kid, didn't say a whole bunch. A couple times he did throughout the season, got himself a little bit of trouble, but in general, Jack Kaliski did it all. It was always remarkable to me. I still hear in the interview, Jack would be out in right field or at first base. All of a sudden, he's in the bullpen warming up, on the mound, ready to go and get things done. Jack played. He was a second-team All-Star as a designated hitter, but he was so much more to that for this Lethbridge Bulls squad this year. They say he was just the second-team All-Star as a designated hitter, but I think he ended up with the led the league in saves with 7. Just did it all in the playoffs of the series against Okotoks. He pitched every game. I don't know if his college coach is going to like that very much, but Jack was day in, day out, called upon no matter what. 48 games played, hit 307, 7 home runs, 47 RBIs, even pitched in somehow, some way, 7 stolen bases. Clutch out of the bullpen. You can't say enough about what Jack was on and off the field for the Lethbridge Bulls. So thank you very much, Jack. I met his mom. She was here when the season first started. Guys, sorry about the apparel situation. We'll clear that up this season when you come back up with Jack to watch the Lethbridge Bulls play at Spitz Stadium. But congratulations to the 2024 25th anniversary MVP of the Lethbridge Bulls, Mr. Jack Kaliski.
All right, now joining us on the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls Report year-end award show. Last but certainly not least is Lethbridge Bulls team MVP and WCBL second-team All-Star Jack Kaliski. Jack, how you doing today, sir?
Good to see you. Glad to be on.
Jack, congratulations on being named the team MVP this year. You had a heck of a season, obviously, in your second year here with the Lethbridge Bulls at WCBL. When you first started making your jaunt up here back in, I guess, late May, what was your thought process coming up, and what were your goals for the season ahead?
Last year I didn't have the best hitting season, so I tried to work on that a little bit more. And then pitching, I just wanted to do whatever the team needed me to do. And my goals were just to be with the team and make sure that I can do whatever I can.
You were Mr. Everything for the Bulls this summer. Sometimes you were playing the infield. Sometimes you're out in the outfield. Then you were coming in relief. You were DH a number of times. That was your second team All-Star for WCBL. He's a designated hitter position. What was when you came to the field every day? Were you just prepared to whatever Coach Ryan was going to tell you you're doing, and just say this is how we're going to approach this, and this is what I got to do every day?
Yes, sir. Whatever Coach Mack needed me to do, I was ready to do. If someone needed an off day, I'll go play the outfield. And, if Carlin needed a day off at first, I'll go play first. And, I was just ready to do anything.
No, it was always amazing to me to watch you play and say if you're out in the outfield, out in right field, and actually had the press box overlooking Spitz Stadium right now. And it's always amazing to me in the 7th or 8th inning, you're out in right field and you kind of disappeared out of nowhere. And you come out of the bullpen out in left field there. What was your when you got told to go out there and warm up? It was always amazing. How much time do you need to get your gun going and get ready to get to take the mound here at Spitz Stadium in the 9th inning to close things out?
Probably takes me about 15, 16 pitches, to be honest. Little short on the mound, and then get on the mound and throw about 10 pitches, and I'm ready to go.
I always laugh at that when you see guys, they warm up. Starters are a little bit different breed, prima donnas, I guess we could say, but they get out there and they got to be out there half an hour before and doing all this and that, and they don't get going until you're in 16 pitches, kind of like a Mariano Rivera. He needed 8 or 9 when back in the old Yankee days, but it was always amazing to see that. When you got your approach every day and you come to feel like you said you were just ready to do whatever you could do, out of the all positions that you were playing, I mean, it's all different mentalities, hitting and playing defense and pitching. It's all a different thing. What's your favorite thing to do on the ball field?
My favorite thing to do is probably pitch, but I also love hitting, so I can't knock that. But pitching, I just felt like I could. I just felt dominant on the mound. I felt like no one could touch me. So.
Well, that was definitely the thing this year. 7 saves and 19 appearances, 1.63 ERA. There's a few times out. Let's go to the end of the season. There, you came out and all of a sudden, it's you hate to bring up the bad memories on a nice day like this, but the last that playoff series that you guys had with the Okotoks Dogs, went all 3 games. You appeared in all 3 games. Just an amazing series, all like 1-run games. It was really close. Obviously, 13 innings, and I think you went 3 or 4 in that last game up in Okotoks. There's a little rumor going around that they kept asking how many you got left, and you said, "Oh, I'm not sure. I'll tell you when I get back." What was it like when the adrenaline must have been pretty high in that last game, thinking, "Man, oh man, we got a chance to knock off the champions," and by all accounts, you really should have. What was your thought process going into going to take it to the mound? I think you went 3 or 4 that game.
Yeah,
what was your thoughts going into that last game up in Okotoks?
The first 2 games I went 3 innings. So Coach Mack and Coach Mack was telling me that, just let me know if Coach Mack and Coach Bergman were just letting me know, like, if I can go. I was telling them I can go as long as you need me. I can go. And so, we got into the 8th inning and I go up to Coach Berg and tell him, if you need me, I can go. And he gives me the go and I get warmed up. And
he thanked you very much. Thank you very much. He probably said, yeah.
And then I went out there and it was just, honestly, I just kind of gave it my all and left it all on the field. I couldn't throw no more after that. It took a little while to get going after that. But I mean, after every inning I came off the mound, they were just making sure I was okay. And I was good.
The WCBL is a different kind of bird. You have, like we talked about, you go to a place like Okotoks, and we got a nice stadium here in Lethbridge and then Sylvan Lake, and then you go to a different place. And I'm not saying anything bad about places like Brooks, but when you go to Brooks and you guys had that, what was it, 32-27 game, whatever the final score was that night, it's got to be tough. The wind's blowing out all the time, and a little short. It's a shorter, smaller field. When you go to a place like Brooks, a place I think you guys had to go there 4 or 5 times this season. What's when it gets to the score gets to be 15-10 in the 3rd inning? What were you thinking that night? Like, oh, holy Christ, this is going to be some kind of night here.
Yeah, you're thinking, when am I going to get home? This is taking forever. It's only the 3rd inning. We got 25 runs put up together, but you got to stick those out and try and win as many games as you can. It might not be the best park to play in, but you always got to try and win.
That's the thing about this. Like, you guys played 56 games and not very many days. You get the odd rain day here and there, but it adds a game on the back end somewhere. How do you keep motivated, and how do you stay ready to go and play at a high level like you did this summer? Because it's got to be tough between the years. You're a long way from home, and you're still a young kid by all accounts.
Yeah.
Everything else, and how do you stay motivated and just go, you know what, I gotta, it's not professional baseball, but I gotta be a professional out here. And like, how do you keep going day in, day out, and keep because your buddies are at home and you got things going on at home, your family's at home. I know your mom came up to start the season this season, but like, how do you keep yourself motivated on a day in, day out basis, saying, you know what, this is my job, I guess, for the summer?
Yeah, Coach Mack and Coach Berg, they recruit people, and for them recruiting me all the way in from Texas, it's kind of, I feel obligated to try my best and give it my all every day on the field. So, and also with my teammates, like the people who aren't going to be with the Bulls next year, I want to do it for them too, like Josh and Carlin and all those guys. So it's really just, that's what keeps me motivated.
That's the thing about this league. Players come in and out all the time. I might have been around this league for 30 years. It seems
Yeah.
back when it was a Saskatchewan league back then, and guys come and go. That's a long time ago, Jack. That's how old I am. But it's you see players come and go, and you guys get a sense of community and a sense of belonging with the team, and eventually you see guys buy in to what you're trying to do here, because you get new guys every year, and this is your second year. When it's your second year, now you're coming back next year. I saw on the board. So that's good news for Bulls fans, obviously, to try to bring a championship back here. But when did it kick in for you to say, you know what, this is kind of neat, and let's try to win this thing? Like, not so much in your first year, but this year when you saw your team was, we got a pretty good team here. Well, when did it kick in for you, thinking, you know what, this is kind of cool. We got something. We can maybe do something special this season.
It was towards right before our Fort Mac trip. I think we played we played Sylvan, and we were going on a win streak, and we needed to beat Sylvan to keep our win streak, and we hadn't beat them all year. And I mean, they kind of beat us a lot this year, and we beat them, and then we went on. I think we went on a 7-game win streak. We went to Fort Mac, won all 4 games, and then came back and won 2 more, and and we just had
the curse of the hot tub is what we call that one. Yeah. No, it was a great season, Jack. Like the way you guys came around, you started that long road trip. Let's go back to there. The Bulls they wanted to start their home campaign on, I think it was June the 5th, 25 years to the day. This was the 25th anniversary of the Lethbridge Bulls in WCBL, just like I said earlier, the Saskatchewan League. But the first, I think, 8 games were on the road. What was that like? It's probably good to get to meet your teammates, but then to not be in your billets bed, or like you probably had the same billets, I'm not exactly sure, but to just always be on the road and everything else, and that can be a bit of a grind to be eating McDonald's or whatever you're eating on a daily basis. What was that first 8 games like to start the season off this year?
It was a little different, because my first year we didn't have that long road trip till probably 10 games in, and we all get here, we say what's up to each other, talk to each other for a day maybe, and then have a little practice, and then we're off. And 8 days on the road in Saskatchewan is a long road trip, and but we realize we have to win those games, and they're important because we're not going to play these guys again, so might as well beat them.
When you first heard the 23 season, and when you were coming up to WCBL and you got recruited and everything else, did you even know where Saskatchewan was?
No, not at all.
It's just funny how that all works out. Then you end up spending some time in beautiful places like Weyburn and Moose Jaw and where else is around the league and everything in Regina. But it's kind of funny. Let's talk about some fun stuff that happened on the field. Like you're not a guy of many words. We say hi all the time when we're out and about and everything else. You're not a guy who talks a lot, very polite and everything else. But you had a little situation where you weren't so polite to one of your elders on the field, and you got yourself ejected. Take us back to that game, what all happened and how that came about.
Well,
you knew I was going to bring this up, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, that game, we were playing Moose Jaw, and it was the first game it was during our win streak actually, and we lost the night before, and we were already a little upset about that. So, and I think a couple of the first calls on me, first at bats weren't too good, and then that third at bat, Coach Mack had already gotten thrown out actually. So I was like, I guess if he can do it, I'll try. I guess if I have to. And then bad call, and kind of got in the umpire's face, said some choice words I probably shouldn't have said, but I don't regret it. And then we end up winning that game. So I don't know.
It was a great comeback win too. I remember that one. You're right. The call guy I was actually up in the press box. I think I was broadcasting that game on Home Team Live, and I was like, "Oh, geez, that's a tough one." And when I saw you get upset, and for you to get upset, it had to have been a call that wasn't very good, obviously. So it was probably forgiven, and maybe got the guys to pick up their socks a little bit and get the win and everything else. Your second year in Lethbridge, obviously, you're going to come back for a third, and who knows about a fourth, but let's not go too far back. What do you like about let's go there. What do you first like about the city of Lethbridge, playing for the Bulls, and then maybe what do you like about WCBL?
Lethbridge is nothing like really I live in a town. I live in San Antonio, so it's a lot of people, and I don't really see the same faces. But in Lethbridge, I see a lot of the same people, and it's a good community. and I love doing the kids camps we did over the summer.
Yeah.
Really got to meet all the kids who come to the games, so that was fun. And then the WCBL, I think it's just a great opportunity for any college player to get looks. I mean, it's good competition. Get looks from the league, and it's just a fun thing. You meet people, and I'm gonna have friendships that last forever from this league, and I'm glad to say that.
Well, Jack, thank very much for joining us on the Bullhorn, and congratulations on the team MVP this year. It was great to be a part of, to be around you guys. You're all a bunch of really like I keep saying kids, but you're not kids, but compared to my age, I guess you are. But no, it was really great. Last but not least, what was your favorite moment of this past WCBL season here in Lethbridge?
I'd say Game 3 of the playoffs. That was a fun one. Even though we lost, it was a dogfight. We all knew what we were going into, and that was probably the funnest game I've ever played in my life. So that was fun.
That's the one. You hear about those things all the time. Guys playing the game that they don't lose. And it's one of a fun one. And you look back a couple months later now, and you go, it's crappy and everything else. But it was a lot of fun. What gets like when I used to play hockey at a pretty high level, I hated losing. I was a sore loser. And I hated losing more than I liked winning. And you look back on those games and you go, geez, man, what could we have done differently? And what could have happened? And if you win, you win. You have a beer and a steak and you call it good. That's it, right? And you move on to the next one. But those ones on the bus home and then probably when you were on your way back to San Antonio, you must have been thinking, man, oh man. But then eventually you get over it as much as you can. But is that kind of the thought about that, Jack? Geez, that stings a little bit.
Exactly. I probably rewatched that game 2 or 3 times on Home Team Live, just watching what we could have done better. And it eats at you because you never know what could happen. We win that game, we play Sylvan, we would beat them. You never know. So we're right there, and it was just a sad one to lose.
No, it definitely was. So, for me, because it was on a Friday night, and I came to the stadium on the Saturday morning to do some stuff, and then I just went, it's over. It's just over, and you go, what? That's it. You bust your tail in the back end. You guys are busting your tails on the field, and it's just over. I think you guys would have beaten Sylvan Lake and taken on Moose Jaw. I think you guys would have definitely won the whole thing if it's just scored a run here and there. And it's a different story altogether.
Exactly.
Jack, once again, congratulations on your MVP season with the Bulls. We'll have you on as the season gets closer again on the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls report. And congratulations once again on WCBL second team All-Star and on the great season that you had. We'll have you on, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next season here in Lethbridge, Alberta.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and thanks to the fans. I appreciate all y'all coming out to the games.
Thanks again, Jack, and we'll talk to you soon. Well, there it is, the 2024 Lethbridge Bulls team awards. Jack Kaliski, the team MVP, and couldn't go to a nicer individual, a great athlete, and all it says. He's a great guy to have on your side. There's no getting around that. The way he come out of the bullpen, like we were talking about in the interview there, he would come out with very little warm-up. Also, he's on the mound like, what the heck's going on here? But congratulations to Jack for being the Lethbridge Bulls 2024, MVP. It's a great award for him, and it's a much the word I'm looking for. I can't think what it's going for. But anyways, that's it. That's all the awards for the season. Congratulations to all the award winners throughout the Lethbridge Bulls. And thank you to all the other players who came up for the season. It was a great year. Came up a little bit short, but next year we'll see what the Lethbridge Bulls can do and find a way to get that elusive championship back to Lethbridge and see what can happen. The next Bulls report, or the next Bullhorn, we're going to do the Community Star Award. So make sure you get your votes in who's going to win that one. Kevin Kawami, the president and general manager of the Bulls, is going to come on and introduce that. And we'll have an interview with him. Got another guest lined up, some alumni for the Lethbridge Bulls. So a lot of fun talking to all these guys this week. Thank you for all who's tuned in to the Lethbridge Bulls, the Bullhorn, the Bulls report. We appreciate all the support you got throughout Spit Stadium, throughout the season. We really hope you all come back, get your season tickets, and go to Field of Screams and all the other stuff that's going on here at Spit Stadium. We appreciate all the support that you give the Lethbridge baseball community. Anyways, that's it for the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls baseball report. And remember, smart people bunt.
The Lethbridge Bullhorn is all things regarding the Lethbridge Bulls of the Western Canadian Baseball League. The Bullhorn has the latest news regarding the Bulls with interviews with current and past players, signings, game recaps, and updates on all the events happening at Spit Stadium. The Bullhorn is your place for all things regarding baseball in Lethbridge. Get your horns up with the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report.